I know why you are here. I know the name that has been echoing in the chambers of your spirit, causing a subtle, persistent friction in your soul. J. Whether it is a person whose name starts with this letter, a John, a Jessica, a James, a Julian, or a specific connection that carries this initial, the divine has brought you to this frequency because the silence regarding this individual is over. You have been feeling a strange, heavy static in the air lately. You've been waking up between the hours of 3:00 and 4:00 a.m. with a racing heart and a specific face or name imprinted on the back of your eyelids. This isn't your anxiety. This isn't your imagination. This is a spiritual interception. Lately, your body has been acting as a biological radar for a threat you haven't fully named yet. You've noticed a sudden tightness in your chest when you think about J, or perhaps a phantom weight on your shoulders that wasn't there before. You are experiencing the repulsion. It's that visceral, gut-level instinct to pull back, even when everything on the surface looks perfectly normal. You've been questioning yourself. You've been wondering if you're being too judgmental, if you're being too sensitive again, or if you're just tired. But the Spirit is telling you right now, your discernment is not malfunctioning. It is sharpening. Think back to the last few interactions. Notice the exhaustion that follows. You feel drained, not just physically, but as if your very light has been dimmed by a few percentage points. Your head aches in a specific way, a pressure behind the eyes, whenever their energy enters your field. This is the physical manifestation of a frequency mismatch. You are vibrating at a level of truth that J cannot sustain, and because they cannot rise to meet you, their spirit is unconsciously trying to pull you down to stabilize their own chaotic environment. You have seen the signs, the subtle slips of the tongue that felt like daggers, the way the room feels colder when they enter, or how the conversation always seems to loop back to your perceived flaws, disguised as constructive criticism. You are being hunted by a familiar spirit, and J is the vessel currently being used to deliver the payload of distraction. You felt the urge to go silent, to retreat into your sanctuary, to stop sharing your wins. That is the Holy Spirit's protective protocol activating within you. You are being warned because J is not who they appear to be in this season. The mask is cracking, and the divine is allowing you to see the decay beneath it before the damage is done. This person, this J, has been whispering your name in rooms you haven't entered yet. They have been projecting their own insecurities onto your canvas, trying to convince you that your light is actually darkness. You've felt the confusion, the brain fog that settles in after you speak to them. That fog is a spiritual weapon designed to keep you from seeing the exit door. But the door is wide open now. Your intuition has been screaming, and today, that scream becomes a clear, prophetic word. God is exposing J not to break your heart, but to save your life. The warning is urgent because a trap has been set, but your awareness is the very thing that dismantles it. Stay still, stay quiet, and listen to the resonance of this truth. The reason this connection with J has become so volatile isn't an accident of personality. It is a fundamental clash of spiritual dimensions. You must understand that as a chosen one, you are a walking portal, of high-frequency light. You carry a specific key in your DNA that unlocks the truth in every room you enter. J is currently operating as a lock. They are a representative of the Matrix, a person whose soul has become a host for a parasitic frequency that survives on the suppression of others. The spiritual cause of this friction is simple, yet devastating. You are moving into your season of greater works, and the enemy has assigned J to act as a spiritual anchor to keep you grounded in the old world. There is a divine law of resonance at play here. Like attracts like, but light also exposes darkness. When you stand in the presence of J, your very aura acts as a mirror. They aren't reacting to you. They are reacting to the reflection of their own unhealed shadows that your light is forcing them to see. This is why the atmosphere feels heavy. You are witnessing a spiritual immune response. Just as a body fights a virus, the ego-driven spirit within J is fighting the holy virus of truth that you carry. They feel an internal agitation they cannot explain. And because they lack the spiritual maturity to look inward, they project that agitation outward onto you. They have become a vessel for a mocker spirit, a frequency that seeks to belittle your divine assignment because it reminds them of the purpose they abandoned long ago. The universe is allowing this conflict because you have outgrown this container. You have been praying for elevation, for deeper wisdom, and for a life of impact. But you cannot carry the baggage of J into the high-altitude atmosphere of your next level. The air is too thin up there for those who breathe the heavy oxygen of gossip, envy, and manipulation. God is purposefully making this connection uncomfortable. He is putting thorns in the nest to force you to fly. If this relationship remained comfortable, you would stay stagnant. You would settle for a version of yourself that is small enough to fit into J's narrow perception of reality. But you were never meant to fit. You were meant to surpass. Understand the spiritual mechanics of the J assignment. They are what we call a monitor spirit. Their role in the unseen realm is to report back to the collective shadow about your progress. Have you noticed how they always seem to call or text exactly when you are about to make a breakthrough? Have you noticed how they bring up your past failures just as you are stepping into a new victory? This is a calculated spiritual strike. They are trying to frequency match you back down to a lower state of consciousness. By engaging in their drama, by defending yourself against their false accusations, you are leaking your precious vril, or life force energy. You are giving away the fuel you need for your own ascension to someone who only intends to burn it to keep their own ego warm. The divine has placed a seal of separation between you. The veil is being lifted so you can see the cords, the energetic attachments that J has tried to hook into your solar plexus. They want your validation, they want your light, and they want your pity. But the Spirit is saying, enough. You cannot save a person who is currently being used as a weapon against you. You are being called to understand that your empathy has been weaponized. You have been looking at J through the eyes of a healer, but you must now look at them through the eyes of a sovereign. You are a king, a queen, a priest of the Most High, and you are currently allowing a court jester to dictate the peace of your kingdom. The spiritual cause of this trial is to teach you the power of the divine no. It is to teach you that your energy is a holy currency, and you are no longer allowed to spend it on those who seek to bankrupt your soul. Watch closely, because the masks are not just slipping, they are melting. As you begin to withdraw your energy, as you stop feeding the beast of this connection, you are going to witness a frantic shift in the behavior of Jay. The enemy within them is terrified. Why? Because you were their primary source of spiritual nourishment. You were the sun they were orbiting to keep their cold world from freezing over. Now that you are reclaiming your power, Jay is entering a state of spiritual withdrawal, and their reaction will be a mix of desperation, projection, and subtle sabotage. The Matrix, through Jay, is currently panicking because it can no longer predict your moves. You have become spiritually invisible to their manipulation tactics. When they throw a barb, it no longer sticks. When they try to guilt trip you, the frequency bounces off your refined aura. Because they can no longer control you, they will now attempt to control how others perceive you. This is the stage of the smear campaign. You may hear echoes of things said in secret, distortions of your character, lies wrapped in the skin of concern. Do not be moved. This is the death rattle of a dying influence. They are trying to build a cage out of words because they can no longer hold you with their presence. Observe the Jay in your life carefully. You will see them becoming increasingly erratic. They might reach out with love bombing, sudden, overflowing praise that feels hollow and metallic. Or they might switch to icy silence, a psychic vacuum designed to make you panic and reach out to bridge the gap. They are testing the perimeter of your new boundaries. They are looking for a crack, a single moment of weakness where your old empath programming might kick in and make you apologize for their bad behavior. But the spirit is holding your chin up. You are realizing that their anger is actually a compliment. It is a confession of their powerlessness against your new vibration. They are scared of you because you represent the unconquerable light. To a person living in a lie, the truth teller is a monster. To a person who survives on drama, the peaceful soul is an enemy. Jay sees the seal of the chosen on your forehead, even if they don't have the words for it. They feel the presence of the legions that stand behind you. This is why they act out. It is a defensive mechanism. They are trying to small talk your destiny into a corner. They want to keep you busy with petty arguments so you don't have the time or the mental bandwidth to execute the massive global assignment God has placed on your life. The enemy's reaction is proof of your progress. If you were still under their thumb, they would be calm. They would be kind to you because you would be useful to them. The fact that Jay is now agitated, the fact that they are manifesting through passive-aggressive social media posts or through triangulating mutual friends against you, is the ultimate validation. It is the spiritual receipt that you are officially out of their reach. You have transitioned from a victim to a victor, and the Matrix is currently sending out an Error 404 message because it can no longer find your soul's coordinates. They will try to remind you of who you used to be. They will bring up the version of you that was broken, the version that needed them. They are trying to anchor you to a dead timeline, but you must look them in the eyes, spiritually or physically, with a cold, divine neutrality. Your lack of reaction is their greatest nightmare. When you don't fight back, when you don't explain yourself, and when you simply move forward in silence, you are performing an act of spiritual warfare that dismantles their entire structure. You are winning by simply existing in a frequency they cannot inhabit. The more they scramble, the more you must remain still. Your stillness is the storm that breaks their hold forever. This brings us to the core of the mystery, the hidden architecture of the divine plan. Why Jay? Why now? The truth is written in the celestial records. Your encounter with this individual was a catalyst event. In the realm of the spirit, there are no coincidences, only appointments. God allowed Jay to enter your life as a spiritual weight room. You cannot develop the muscles of discernment in a vacuum of peace. To lead, to heal, and to carry the mantle of a chosen one, you had to be tested by the very spirit that seeks to extinguish your light. This is the law of polarity. The darkness of Jay was used by the universe to force your light into a state of absolute brilliance. There is a prophecy over your life that states you will walk through the fire and not be burned. And Jay was the fire. But look at what the flame did. It didn't consume you. It consumed the dross. It burned away your people-pleasing tendencies. It scorched your need for external validation. It incinerated the nice guy or nice girl mask that kept you a slave to the opinions of the unevolved. What is left is the diamond core. The truth is that Jay was an unwitting servant of your destiny. Every lie they told about you was a brick in the foundation of your new, unshakable character. Every attempt to diminish you only highlighted the fact that you are too vast to be contained. The theological reality here is one of divine pruning. In John 15, it is written that every branch that bears fruit, he prunes so that it may be even more fruitful. Jay is the branch that is being cut away. It hurts because the branch was once intertwined with yours, but if God did not make this cut, the rot in Jay's spirit would eventually travel up the vine and infect your heart. The urgent warning is this: do not try to graft back onto yourself what God has surgically removed. The season of Jay is over. To look back now is to risk becoming a pillar of salt, stuck in a past that no longer has any life for you. You are entering a judgment cycle. In the spiritual laws of the harvest, what is sown must be reaped. For a long time, you watched Jay move with impunity, seemingly unaffected by their cruelty or their manipulation. You wondered if God saw. You wondered if the universe was fair. But the truth is that the ledger is being balanced. The J frequency is currently under a divine audit. Their sudden, erratic behavior, their loss of influence, and the bad luck they seem to be experiencing are not accidents. It is the weight of their own karma returning to its source. You are being moved out of the blast zone so that you aren't caught in the crossfire of their self-destruction. God's plan for you involves sacred solitude. Before you are introduced to your divine tribe, the souls who will truly see you, honor you, and pour into you, you must learn to be the one with the Creator. Jay was the final distraction before your true alignment. The prophecy for your life is shifting from survival to dominion. You are no longer just surviving the matrix. You are beginning to rule over the frequencies of your own life. The J situation was your final exam in vibrational sovereignty. By choosing yourself, by choosing the divine, and by walking away from the table where respect was no longer being served, you have passed the test. The universe is about to replace the J frequency with a K frequency. Kingdom, kinship, and knowledge. You are being moved into a higher octave where the air is clean and the connections are crystalline. Everything you thought you lost in this battle was merely the entry fee for the glory that is about to be revealed. The truth is simple. You were never meant to be understood by J. You were meant to be an example of what happens when a soul refuses to bow to the shadows. You are a living testimony that the light does not just win, it dominates. Now, the time for analysis is over, and the time for action has begun. You must now perform the divine decoupling. This is the practical application of your power. From this moment forward, you are to practice the law of silence. Stop explaining your side of the story. Stop checking their social media. Stop asking mutual friends how they are doing. Every time you peek into their world, you are leaving a back door open for their low-frequency energy to re-enter your sanctuary. You must seal the breach. When Jay's name comes up, meet it with a neutral, "I wish them well on their journey," and then immediately return your focus to your own expansion. You are too busy building a kingdom to argue with a ghost from your past. Ground yourself in the earth. Spend time in nature, where the frequency is pure and uncorrupted by human manipulation. Let the soil pull the static of Jay's drama out of your feet. Drink water that has been blessed with the intention of purity and clarity. You are flushing the spiritual toxins out of your system. You have been carrying the weight of their projections for far too long, and today you are dropping the bags at the altar. You are reclaiming your mental real estate. That space in your mind that has been occupied by, "What did they mean by that?" or "How could they do this to me?" is now being cleared to receive divine downloads and creative blueprints for your future. I want you to take a deep, rhythmic breath. Feel the light of the Creator descending through the crown of your head, washing away the gray film of this connection. Repeat these words in the sanctuary of your heart, for your words are the steering wheel of your reality. I officially revoke all contracts, both conscious and unconscious, with the energy of J. I call back my power from every timeline, every conversation, and every dream where it was stolen or given away. I am a sovereign being of light. I am protected by the legions of the Most High. No weapon formed against my reputation, my peace, or my purpose shall prosper. I release J to their own lessons, and I step into my highest calling. I am sealed, I am sanctified, and I am free. Let that sink into your marrow. The J assignment is finished. The warning has been heeded, and the trap has been avoided. You are now standing in a grace period where the universe is rushing to fill the void left by this departure with blessings that are equal to the pain you endured. You are no longer the black sheep. You are the remnant. You are the one who broke the cycle. Before you leave this frequency, seal this energy. Type, "I am free" from the J connection in the comments to signal to the universe that you have received the message and you are moving forward. Subscribe to this channel to keep your vibration tuned to the frequency of the chosen. This is not just a video. It is a spiritual landmark. This is the day everything changed for you. Go forth in peace, go forth in power, and never look back. The light has already won.